What is up, my subster RighteousRaikou, discharging you with another episode of This Week in WWE, joined by your boy Conscious. Boy Conscious.
Hello?
There you go, he finally answers now.
Did answer. You're deaf.
Took you a while. So, this week there was definitely a lot that happened between the past episode and this week, just because, especially, I took a week off. I had literally zero time, plus Conscious's computer that week literally just completely shot on him. It's still dead, but we're making do with this week. So a lot, but like, also last week was kind of a dead week, except maybe for NXT because it's set up for War Games, but we'll get more into that later. Cap off to start today with some news that first off, Roman is expected to be cleared to return to WWE, and probably soonish. Conscious?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but like there's a definitive lag.
I was saying, Roman being cleared. That led to the result of another match on Raw, which something else happening, which leads to a match that's happening at Survivor Series, which is probably, in my opinion, the most exciting match on the card.
Oh,
Survivor Series.
But I do want to comment at least on Roman Reigns coming to get cleared back. I think I know how this can work out very well for Raw right now. They dropped Jason Jordan.
No.
Hold on. They dropped Jason Jordan, replace him with Roman Reigns. That way,
they can't. Roman already has a match.
Fuck. With what, Kane?
Do not. No. What? Okay.
Jinder Mahal?
Think about it, Chris.
Jinder Mahal?
Why did Seth Rollins?
Oh, we're getting Shield versus New Day. Yeah.
Aha. That's why I said.
I know. But what I'm saying, it'd be nice if instead of Jason Jordan, we had Roman Reigns. Like, as much as I don't like Roman Reigns, I really don't like Jason Jordan.
That's probably the.
He's the cult of no personality.
Yeah, I don't know why Jason Jordan, but Roman has something to do, and to be honest, he needs to be in that Shield versus New Day match, because that hands down is going to be my match of the night for the entire time.
Honestly, if Raw loses, I'm honestly thinking it's going to be because of Jason Jordan. It's either him or Angle.
Or Super Cena.
Well, I mean, like, the person eating the final pin. It's going to be one of the two.
Maybe. Well, it's elimination, so, I don't know.
Yeah, but they're not going to end it on a DQ.
No. A couple of wrestlers are going to be DQ'd.
Oh, yeah, no, Strowman is. Strowman's going to get DQ'd.
Yeah, he should. But
at the same time, I could also see him being like, oh, you know those 3 people representing your team? Yeah, no, I just killed them.
Yep. Okay, next was Rockstar Spud signing with WWE, and he's going to be joining 205 Live.
For those who don't know Rockstar Spud, just a quick recap, he was relatively big in TNA, I want to say.
He
for a while.
Was decently big, yeah.
He was, when Dixie Carter was relevant, he was an assistant to Dixie Carter as well as Ethan Carter III. And eventually that sparked into a rivalry between Rockstar Spud and EC3, which actually that rivalry was really good.
Really good, yeah. They had a
hair versus hair match. They had one of those, I know that, and that one was good.
They had a insane street fight that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that street fight was really good. Like, I honestly think that series, like, that rivalry was one of the best rivalries in TNA.
I can see it, but they're bringing him into the Cruiserweight division as kind of a Spike Dudley.
I mean, that's fine. Like, the thing is, I don't mind if he works with Mandrews. Because, like, if he works with Mandrews, because he's worked with Mandrews before, so if they go, or I keep saying Mandrews because that's what he was known as in TNA, but Mark Andrews. If he just keeps working with Mark Andrews, he'll be fine. So honestly, I think he can work if they at least start him off working with Mark Andrews, he'll be fine.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah.
Like they,
And next,
yeah. Next would
had
be Hideo Itami is almost
going
confirmed for 205
205
bound.
Live. Yep.
I'd be fine.
Which
I'll be fine with this.
at this point, why not? Because Hideo is,
He needs to get out of
he,
NXT.
yeah, and he's too injury prone and 205 Live. Yep. Hideo. I'm sorry.
Feels bad, man.
Owens and Zayn sent home early from the UK tour.
Now, depending on
I'm
where you get the story from, there's different accounts of what possibly happened.
yeah.
So some accounts are saying that they're being very hard to work with on the tour. Some people are saying that that's actually not true. It was like miscommunications or whatever. But regardless, that they're currently stateside.
In which, in all honesty, if this keeps happening, they could see themselves not working for WWE anymore, which personally I would be too mad about because the thing is, Kevin is fine. Kevin Owens, the main reason why he signed with WWE is because it's more stable and more stable for his family and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Realistically, Kevin Owens could go back to the independent scene and make good money.
Because
right
now he's a big talent.
Yes. Same thing with Sami Zayn. And the thing is, Sami, he could go back to the end. If he goes back, he can pick up his El Generico gimmick again.
No, but he died in Tijuana. He died in a fire in Tijuana. It's canon.
No.
It was said on Talk is Jericho. Owens is like, oh yeah, El Generico died in a fire. You know, it saved some kids in Tijuana.
But the two of them, as of them joining WWE and wrestling like they have raised their stock. They both can they probably could go. Both of them probably could sign a contract to like ROH or something and make money doing it. Do the same thing that.
It's just I don't want to see them leave WWE.
Oh no, you don't want to, but if they really wanted to, because of because this is the second time Kevin's got sent home early from a tour, and Sammy's first, as far as I know. So we don't know what's going on. So this could be a bad sign.
If it's true that it was a miscommunication, then it's really not a big deal.
Yeah, if they're big hard to work with, then potentially we could see Kevin and Sammy back on Independence again, which they're used to it. So
hey, listen, I don't mind seeing El Generico and Kevin Steen versus the Young Bucks. I'll see it again. I've seen it once. I'll see it again. But moving on now, this was announced at WWE.com. I believe after this week's SmackDown episode, or it was like during, because since everything was pre-recorded, it's always after. But John Cena is officially the 5th and final member of Team SmackDown, and this almost this is gonna drive the nail in the coffin.
Super Cena.
Yo, watch, he gets eliminated in one shot.
I'll be funny.
He taps out to Kurt Angle. Oh my god, I'd cry.
I'm actually conflicted because have Super Cena on one side,
and then Kurt Angle,
and then you have Braun Strowman on the other side.
Honestly, I could see Strowman taking out Cena.
To be honest, myself personally, I like Raw team way better.
Yeah, but you can see SmackDown winning though.
Yeah,
because
with Raw you have Joe and Finn, who from what I'm seeing, they're gonna cost each other. They're gonna be the reason for each other being eliminated, and they're gonna have a rivalry later. Braun more than likely is gonna get eliminated. Actually, Braun's gonna get eliminated by Kane, and them get disqualified that way.
I'd say Kane's not even in the match, but at the same time.
Yeah, but yeah, that they're working this whole Kane versus Braun thing. That's gonna happen. Who else is on the team? Kurt and Jason Jordan, Jason.
And
pretty
then,
much at least Kurt and Jason Jordan as the last two. Kurt's gonna pull Cyborg Kurt then he gets eliminated later on. Then Jason Jordan is not really gonna do a lot.
Yeah, the thing is, the way I see it is we're all losing, and then it's gonna spark the feud that we're all hoping for, which is Kurt Angle versus Triple H.
Yep.
Which honestly, I wouldn't mind that for a Mania match. I'd watch it. Because you know what, it's two part timers working, but at the same time, like Triple H, even at his age, he still puts on decent matches.
Well, Kurt isn't a part timer. Kurt just doesn't rarely wrestles.
Well, technically, by wrestling standpoint, where he doesn't really wrestle, he's qualified as a part timer as a wrestler. He's still full time working.
Which they're doing the smart thing. They're saving his body because they realize Kurt doesn't have a lot of matches left in him. He's at that point
where all he needs is one match with Seth Rollins and his career's over.
Pretty much.
It's the sad truth, let's be real. It's like, oh no, it's Kurt Angle versus The Shield. Oh no, they botched the Shield bomb. Kurt Angle's out of a job. Oh, Seth Rollins, you've injured every single superstar I like.
He put Finn out of action for like 9 months. He put Sting out of action completely. He's the reason why we didn't get Sting versus Undertaker. Thanks, Seth.
Yo, thanks, Seth. We got Bray Wyatt instead. Oh no, that was a different year. Well,
no, that year it was Sting versus
Triple H. Don't even remind me. That was bad.
Like, what they should have done, they should have switched the match around. Sting versus Undertaker, Bray versus Triple H. That would have been such a better match. Such a better feud right there.
Yeah, because everyone just wanted, oh no, it's the DX versus NWO. I didn't want this at all. I don't care about Kevin Nash. The fact he looks like Ron Perlman at his age. I don't care. But moving on forward to the last news before we get into the actual week, Jericho is announced to be going to Wrestle Kingdom 12 in January to fight Kenny Omega, and it's being billed as Alpha versus Omega.
It's gonna be hype.
Honestly,
can't wait for that match.
It's I don't think it's gonna be a 6-star match, obviously, because Jericho's age is showing, but it's this Kenny Omega can work a match with a brick wall and it'll be at least 4 stars. He
literally worked it with a kid.
Yo, that kid ate the super kick like nobody's business.
But to be fair, Hideo had the best working match ever. Worked it with a blow-up doll.
Oh my god, Japan.
No, that's legit. Legit, Hideo Itami fought a match with a blow-up doll. It was fantastic.
I'm just saying, Japan.
Yep.
So yeah, that's basically it for news this week. Honestly, decent amount for news, and then just Jericho, the fact he's going to Wrestle Kingdom 12 that's gonna be amazing. There's no other word but amazing.
To be honest, January is going to be a pretty promising wrestling month because we got Wrestle Kingdom 12 and the Royal Rumble that month. So the Royal Rumble is always an exciting time.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be a couple of debuts at Royal Rumble.
For sure.
Yo, I swear to God, if they pull another AJ Styles on us where they're like, oh yeah, we're going to keep completely silent. And you're just like, oh, it's AJ Styles. It's like, I never heard that music before. Oh my God, it's AJ Styles.
And the weird thing about it is, a couple of big names on the independent scene, contracts expire like January. So potentially, there's a couple. There's. We don't know.
One name it's gonna be Shawn Michaels eliminates AJ Styles to be the #1 contender for WrestleMania.
No.
Nah, actually, it's gonna be Roman Reigns. I'm wrong. It's gonna be Roman Reigns again.
Pretty much. But one rumor that's been swirling around a lot, we may be seeing King Ricochet.
I know. We've been talking about this for at least like 3 episodes now, where he's gonna go to 205 Live, and I'm just like, I don't know.
He's if they're smart, because his contract with I believe New Japan is up in January.
Because he's still in WCPW though, too.
Well, they're
Or
not contracted.
Defiant Wrestling, they're calling it now.
Well, they're not contracted. They're not contracts though.
Yeah. Well, technically, I think it's technically contract, but
No. Only certain wrestlers on their roster have contracts with the company to appear at all their events. But he like those big independent stars that they get signed for like one night. It's not really a contract. It's just like an agreement. Hey, you wrestle for this much, and we.
unless you're like Joe Hendry or
Yeah, most of the independent wrestlers, what the majority of their money comes from on those independent shows is merch sales.
yeah.
That's why when like the Young Bucks, all of them go to like these independent shows, they have a suitcase full of fucking merch just to start selling shit.
And
Like,
that, I swear, there's never a dull moment when Young Bucks come to town.
Yep.
And the fact that there's an ROH show happening in the city in December, I'm like, oh, and it's a pay-per-view too, so I'm like, oh, I think I gotta go. Not like travel. I'm like, do I feel like buying an $80 ticket and going an hour and a half out of my way to watch ROH? Hell yeah. That's gonna be lit. But back on track. So this week started obviously with Raw, and first segment of the night was Miz TV. Angle was a guest star, and they're going over how essentially Steph McMahon emasculated Angle, telling how he's incompetent, blah blah blah. And Angle's trying to hype up, saying how he is such a superior team than SmackDown, which I still find the brand warfare is kind of retarded because everyone's going to end up watching both shows anyway. But, I mean, it just, this segment felt out of place.
Yep.
Just pointless. And that brings us to the first match of the night, which was Jason Jordan versus Elias in a guitar on a pole match. Why?
I didn't care. Didn't care at all.
Yeah, Jason Jordan won, but whatever. But this is some like Jeff Jarrett shit.
Yep, didn't care. What was next?
Asuka versus Stacey Codes.
Same thing. Did not care.
It's an Asuka squash match.
Yep.
This one mattered though. Next one mattered, which was Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor.
Yeah, no, that one did matter in retrospect because it put Asuka on the Raw Women's team.
Yeah.
Which could either mean Asuka pretty much going to win it for Raw, or she gets eliminated by DQ.
Yeah, she's not going to get a clean pin. Like, she's not going to get pinned clean.
No.
And then Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor. That was a good match, which ended in a double count out.
Yep, and Kurt Angle comes out and announces them two being two members on Team Raw.
And pretty lit.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually a lot of power. The fact, like, there's so many powerhouses on Raw, and then there's Cena, I'm just like, this doesn't end well for anybody.
We might see something else we want to see. Cena versus Joe. That's one match I want to see.
Well,
Cena versus
since
Finn.
he's a free agent, so we could see it at any time.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm really hoping we get just Cena versus Angle one more time. Why not?
True.
Actually, wait, that would be a good retirement match.
Yo, can we have another street fight between Kurt and Shane? See, Kurt belly suplex Shane to Payne's Velasquez. Please, thank you.
No, did you? That man almost died. That man almost died.
He belly him.
Hey kids, you want to see Here Comes the Money? Oh, guess who's not coming home tonight? Oh no! Shane O'Mac nearly broke his neck that night. It was so bad. But we're probably gonna end up getting it. Yo, we'll just Shane O'Mac always finds a way to end up getting himself killed.
To be honest, I wish WWE Bryan would get cleared from one match because I would love to see Kurt versus Daniel Bryan. Oh my god, that's hands down one of my dream matches.
put them together for a career versus career match.
I would not be mad at that. I love them both, and they're both so good.
And it ends in a double count out. They
Okay.
both lose their careers.
What was next?
Next, besides obviously the Raw being filled out, Raw team being filled out, it was Banks and Bailey versus Nia Jax and Alicia Fox. And didn't matter.
Yeah, Banks and Bailey won, and Banks and Bailey took the last 2 spots of the Raw Women's team. Bam.
And it was just a pointless match, and then Nia Jax is kind of just there.
Yep.
So then next was a match between The Miz and Braun Strowman, and this ended in a Strowman victory by DQ because I think it was a Kane shenanigans.
Yep, and Braun power slammed him like 2 or 3 times. He kept getting up.
The man is a savage.
Yep. Pretty much they're building up for Braun versus Kane, and Braun pretty much massacred The Miz. GG. So yeah.
GG
thanks.
Nori. And then I'll probably get to the side later. Oh no, that's right. No, because Baron Corbin's not even mentioned on this week. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about Miz versus Baron Corbin when Baron Corbin hasn't been on for like the last 2 or 3 weeks.
No, he's been on. He's just had this thing with Botchkara.
He hasn't been relevant in 3 weeks.
Fair.
So I honestly think Baron Corbin's not winning that match. I think it's Miz.
Yep.
But next we had an Enzo shooting a promo at the UK crowd, whatever, directing stuff at Kalisto, and kind of irrelevant. The whole segment was irrelevant up until you hear the music of a very, very familiar person in the UK tournament. None other than Pete
the Bruiserweight.
Dunne.
The WWE UK champion.
The UK champion Pete Dunne. The whole crowd, including myself, went ballistic.
Yep.
It was just fantastic. And then it's set up for a match between Dunne and Enzo, and Dunne won in about 3 minutes.
Yep, Dunne just completely massacred Enzo.
I love how the man literally weighs 205 pounds.
Yep.
But and this basically assured us that there's a merger now between the UK the UK participants and the 205 Live, which I'm very hesitant on right now.
They've been under a weird contract for some time now.
Well, because they're still working with Progress and Evolve.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to figure out what they're gonna do with them. Are they gonna give them their own brand? Are they gonna branch off and give them?
Well, that's what I thought they were gonna do. I thought they were gonna have instead just like what they have at 205 Live. I thought they were gonna have another WWE Network program where every week they have UK Championship matches, or UK matches.
I think it's eventually gonna come, but I don't know when. It feels very slow coming.
I also just want to see Aleister Black versus Pete Dunne.
Fair.
Because he can compete for the championship.
The match I want to see: Mustache Mountain versus Cesaro and Sheamus.
The bar.
Yep.
That'd be pretty.
The
good.
Bar versus Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. Huh. Actually, I would take Tyler Bate versus Cesaro. That match would be fantastic.
So, speaking about the Bar, the last match of the night was Rollins and Ambrose versus the Bar for the titles, and as a surprise, the Bar won.
And that's thanks to the New Day coming out, distracting Raw, distracting them, saying they were under siege again, which is setting up, which worked out perfectly with Roman Reigns coming back, because it sets up perfectly the Shield versus the New Day, which in my opinion the match I'm most excited about. I'm hyped as hell
Honestly,
about, and I want to see that.
on that match, I think New Day has to eat the loss.
Yeah.
Because then you also have Roman Reigns. It's like big, big dog, big yard, big dog. I eat people. Because I mean, if you somehow can beat Braun Strowman multiple times, then really, New Day ain't nothing. But ragdolls at that point. But anyhow, now we have new titles, which means at Survivor Series we will be having now the Usos versus the Bar. And I think that still can be a good match.
Uh-huh.
I won't say because I think I was more hyped on Ambrose and Rollins versus the Usos instead of the Bar, but I still think it'll be decent.
I think the Usos can work with the Bar very well because you have their styles would mix very well. I think so.
Because one's more ground and pound, the other's semi-high flying.
Yeah.
If you even count Usos as high flying anymore.
I don't think they really ever were high flying. They're more of like that Samoan style, like drops, super kicks. They
kind of have the super fly style.
Yeah.
With a little bit like Rikishi.
Yeah.
It's definitely, they keep it in the family with Rikishi and Umaga, and then they have a little bit of Superfly with them. Which I don't think they're related to Superfly, though. Because I don't think they're related to Tamina.
Huh?
Because I don't think the Usos are related to Snuka.
Yes, they are.
They are?
Tamina's their cousin. Yep.
Okay. I forgot about that.
Pretty much all that Samoan, all of them are related somewhere down the line.
The only one
Tamina's
is
like the Rock.
Samoa Joe.
Yes, the Samoa Joe is the only Samoan that's not related to them.
I think also Roman Reigns isn't.
No,
he is NOI. And it's also The Rock isn't related to Roman Reigns. That's right.
Yeah, no, that's they're not actually related, like related, but they're like their tribe is like it's in that tribe thing. Yeah.
But he's actually related to the Usos.
Yes.
Which is just funny.
And it's the same thing that goes with like the Roman Reigns and the Guerrillas of Destiny in New Japan.
Exactly.
Fucking Tama Tonga is like hypothetically like the Rock's, Roman, all of them's cousin and shit like that. With Tonga, same thing with Tonga Loa and the other Gorilla Destiny. But yeah.
So moving on to SmackDown before we completely start talking about the Anoa'i family tree, it opened up with Shane O'Mac cutting a promo, talking about how he's one up in Raw, blah blah blah, and then seeing no one comes out complaining, bitching and moaning, and it's the same promo that we've been seeing for the past like week or two. So then he sets up a match between Kofi Kingston and Sami Zayn. And I actually forget how that fucking went. Because I think I might fast forward to the match. Because I really didn't care for Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn. Because it was a pointless match.
Kofi won that match. But he was attacked by Sami and Kevin at the end of the match. So this... Actually, Tuesday, it was supposed to be the New Day versus Sami and Kevin. But... yeah.
Did people get sick or something?
No, they left the tour, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, I don't know what's going to happen to this week, so, well.
And then, next? After that, we had Orton versus Rusev, where Rusev ate another pin by Randy Orton, because why do we care about Randy Orton?
I don't know, and Rusev is kind of so I don't know. I don't know what's going on, whatever.
So this next match was just, I don't know why, but Becky Lynch versus James Ellsworth.
That was fantastic. James Ellsworth got bodied by Becky Lynch.
Yo, he got his arm broken in a minute. That match, I don't think lasted more than a minute. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
He serves him right for toppling that ladder and screwing AJ over. Or he screwed Dean over. I don't even remember anymore.
What?
That at that TLC match, it was between, I think, Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles, and he toppled the ladder.
Yep, and he screwed Dean. Yep.
He screwed somebody. I don't know if it was AJ or Dean.
He screwed Dean. He screwed Dean.
Okay.
He was a face up until that point. He screwed Dean, and AJ picked up the win.
Something just never feels right when AJ's a heel. Like, sure, he can do the part right. It's the fact everybody loves him so much that it's like he doesn't get heat.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, at the same time, you're also just looking for reactions. So as long as you get reactions, you're doing right. But anyhow, next match was Usos versus Gable and Jordan, and this match was aight.
Usos lost by countout?
Yeah, I think so.
Which, it was a very weird count. It wasn't like the heel countout where they're walking up the ramp. He was just like laying there for a little bit and like he was trying to catch his breath or something. It was very weird.
I think he might have got hurt.
I don't know. It was very weird. Yeah, you're right, because I was reading something about that Jey Uso got injured and he worked a house show through the injury. So potentially he might have been injured.
I think he'll still work through Survivor Series though.
Probably. What they're probably gonna do is take a break this week and let him heal up, because I don't think it's anything serious since he worked a house show. So let the bodies rest for like a week.
Yeah.
And then come back for the review.
Yeah, and this brings us to the last match of the night, which was the most important match of the night, obviously, which was AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal for the World Heavyweight Championship. And
AJ
I know
won.
I was about to say, I know what you're thinking. Let me guess, Jinder Mahal won. Oh boy, were you wrong. AJ Styles actually won.
And a big part of that is because WWE was not sold on Jinder versus Brock, which no one was excited.
Nobody was excited for anything involving Jinder Mahal.
Yep, but now we have Brock versus AJ.
Because the thing is the fact that you're trying to build Mahal up so much, and if you feed him to Brock, he gets squashed instantly.
Yep.
At least with Styles, like Styles can eat a loss, but at the same time he can put in a 5-star match with Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Punk versus Brock Lesnar was anything to be impressed about, this was going to be its successor.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope though that they don't use like DQs for this kind of match, because like I'd love to see a spot kind of like what he did at SummerSlam, where he just picked up part of the announce table and just stomped on it.
Yep.
It was just so comically stupid. It's great. Just like when Braun Strowman just picks up an office chair and just throws it at somebody.
I'm not finished with you.
But the fact he picks up an office chair and just throws it at you, that's just amazingly comical. That's like the equivalent of like him picking up like a ring post and just chucking it halfway through a football field. It's so great, but at least now we're finally getting a marquee match to cap off Survivor Series. Which brings us to the disappointing hour of the night, which is 205 Live. And that starts off with Enzo cutting a 20-minute promo on the United Kingdom division. 20 minutes. And it's segmented just like how the NXT, the original NXT was formatted. Like the whole...
I did. Yeah, I did not care about that at all. That could have went by any faster. Tyler Bate ended up punching him in the face and setting up Tyler Bate versus Enzo later that night.
I'm glad someone ended that segment. Which next match was Kalisto versus Jack Gallagher, and
Kalisto won.
The match made no importance. Kalisto is kind of irrelevant. It's the way to go. Use that momentum, Kalisto. But this match was the match of that night, which was like the ending match wasn't as good as this match. Cedric Alexander and Mark Andrews versus James Drake and Joseph Connors.
Yep, it was a good match. They did what they needed to do. It had some good spots, good back and forth wrestling.
All four of these men are really good workers.
Yep, Mark Andrews did the whole babyface and peril thing very good. It finished off with Mark Andrews hitting a shooting star press,
He does
which
a good
hands
shooting
down,
star press.
yes, he does. In my opinion, there's only two people that one person that does it better than him.
Brock Lesnar.
Mm. No, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The only one person I think has a better shooting star press than him.
No.
Your boy Matt Sydal.
I haven't seen a Matt Sydal match in so long.
His shooting star press is still so damn beautiful. He gets that tuck and every. Oh, Matt Sydal, you are so.
It just Jesus Christ. And then the last match tonight, Enzo versus Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate lost. Bad decision. Just
Enzo won clean. It had to happen because
Enzo shouldn't have won clean though. He should have.
I really wish it wasn't Tyler Bate. Anyone but Tyler.
Literally, they should have swapped out Mark Andrews for Tyler Bate for that match, and then just have Enzo pin Mark Andrews.
I would probably enjoy that. I would probably have enjoyed that, to be honest.
Because they still would have worked well, and Tyler Bate never underworks a match. Because if he was paired with Cedric Alexander and then versing James Drake and Joseph Connors, that match would have been even better.
Yep, he still put on what he could with Enzo, even though he had to eat the pin. Feels bad, man.
I'm just done with Enzo.
Yep.
So this brings us to the last of the week, which is NXT. Just a quick recap from that week before. They were talking about War Games and setting that up. How last week Roderick Strong was teasing that he was actually going to join the Undisputed Era. He doesn't. He immediately attacks Adam Cole, and then out of all this chaos, we get William Regal saying at NXT TakeOver, which eventually gets its name changed to War Games, obviously. It will be Sanity versus the Undisputed Era versus the Authors of Pain with Roderick Strong.
Yep.
Inside War Games.
It makes me so sad because that's going to be in my hometown, but I'm not going.
I looked at, because over the years I forgot what War Games was even about, and I looked at it and was just like, how are they going to work this with 3 different teams?
Oh, this how it usually works. It's going to be madness, dude. It's
not usually 3 different teams. It's a large group of people, but it's not usually 3 different teams. It's like a team of 5 and team of 5.
I just wish I could go.
Do it. Sneak in the stadium. You won't.
Well, lol.
But
actually, I know some people are going to be working the event though.
No, sneak in. Do it. You ain't real.
Whatever.
But that was for last week. This week, opening match was Heavy Machinery versus Sean Maluta and Chris Payne. Heavy Machinery obviously went over.
Doesn't matter. It's a squash match.
Yeah, it's all just build up at this point. Next match was Kairi Sane versus Billie Kay, accompanied by Peyton Royce. This was a good match.
It was okay. But Kairi Sane's personality is kind of She needs a little bit more build to her.
To be fair, this is kind of what people have been saying when we first got Asuka.
Yeah.
And Asuka didn't get really a chance to shine until later on. Really out of sheer desperation, but...
Yep, she just needs to keep building, because... So right now, she doesn't have a lot of personality to her gimmick and stuff like that.
Well, she hasn't cut a promo yet.
Yeah, she needs a little bit more build, yeah.
She'll probably be good.
Yeah.
So, next match... Well, it wasn't a match, it was a segment. Cassius goes up to William Regal, he's just like... Oh, look at all. He's basically talking about all his wins, blah blah blah, and how he wants to get back into the title picture. And he says like, "Oh, to prove it, I'll even take on Lars Sullivan." When Regal's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" But he's like, "You got it." So we got Cassius Ohno versus Lars Sullivan at NXT War Games.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess Cassius Ohno wins that one because
I would want him to win it.
If Lars Sullivan wins, I'm going to be a little upset.
They could be trying to build. If he wins, they're more likely building him as a monster.
Yeah, but like Cassius Ohno, you don't treat Chris Hero like this. Just don't do it. Don't do it. He suffered enough. He was part when NXT was still a reality show. Ugh. But anyway, the next segment was Andrade Almas and Zelina Vega. They were in an interview, just basically calling out Drew McIntyre and how Andrade is going to win it at Takeover.
Yeah, it was a good promo.
Honestly, Zelina Vega is doing him wonders.
Yes, agreed.
Because he can't pick up a mic for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing we got was Velveteen Dream versus Cesar Bononi, and yeah, but he didn't finish it with the Rainmaker this time. He used they used a cartwheel Death Valley driver.
Which is usually his setup to the to his finisher.
Because I forget how that looked like though. Like I know it's like it basically starts with a fireman's carry, but is it like the windmill driver that Kalisto does?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like a windmill Death Valley driver, and then he'll go for the elbow jump on top rope. Yep, that's pretty much how he wins.
And then Velveteen Dream cut a promo after the match, and I mean it wasn't his best promo, but like it was still a solid promo to go off of.
Yep, it has me intrigued about that match.
Because I honestly think Velveteen Dream might have to eat I don't think he can win this match.
I don't know.
It's just because the thing is, there's so much to lose if you have Aleister Black lose. There's not much to gain if you have Velveteen Dream win. But that's just the way I see it. But to say the least, I think this match is still going to be one of the highlights of TakeOver is Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black. Just by these promos. And then, last but not least for the night, was Roderick Strong versus Adam Cole, baby. It was an okay match. And then they kind of gave us not even a finish to the match. It was a disqualification. Adam Cole just needs to pick up a clean win already. I'm starting to get really, really tired of it. Because they're just making him look weak and weak. Like, don't do that. Like, sure, they're building up Keith and Bobby Fish so well, but just I'm getting really, really frustrated with Undisputed Era. They should be so much better than what they're building them as.
Fair.
But I know they haven't had much spotlight time in the ring, so I'll give them that. But just please take over. Just don't be bad. You have so many good names on the card. Just please don't screw up. I have so much faith. Because that pay-per-view's in what, like 2 weeks? Right? Because I don't think it's a week. I don't think it's next week.
What?
The Survivor Series and War Games. I think that's 2 weeks, right?
It's next weekend.
It's next weekend?
We can have dude, my birthday's Tuesday, and that's why I'm kind of mad. My birthday's Tuesday. Friday is that San Antonio show for Ring of Honor. Saturday is War Games. Sunday is Survivor Series, and then Monday and Tuesday they have live Raws in my town, in my city too. So
Feels
I want to go to
mediocre,
all
man.
of it. I feel real bad because I don't have any extra money, so I can't go to any of it, and I'm sad.
I mean, there's the NXT house show that's gonna have Adam Cole versus Drew McIntyre with special guest HBK. Cause I guess you'll watch like they're like, oh, we're gonna change the title at just change his title change his hands at the house show, but what do we do for tomorrow?
Okay, so is that everything?
Yeah, that is everything for this week. So thank you guys for tuning in this week. Hopefully I always have to now preface hopefully we'll be back next week, just because every week is different and unpredictable.
I might be dead. Yeah.
You right? We all might be dead one day. But
yeah.
Thank you guys very much for tuning in this week.
Okay, for sure. If we don't do next week, probably the following week.
Oh yeah, no, we're always guaranteed to do one after a pay-per-view.
After pay-per-view, yeah.
It's always Joe. It's the fact of like always a week of that's not a pay-per-view. It drags.
Yeah.
Because nothing ever happens.
To be honest, that week of the pay-per-view is gonna be long as hell because we got War Games, Survivor Series, then the Monday, the Raw, the SmackDown, the NXT, and the 205 Live.
10 hours. It's 10 hours plus. Actually, no, that's War Games. So wait, that's another 2.5 hours. That's like almost 13 hours of programming we all have to watch. Oh God.
Yeah.
God have mercy on my soul.
User joined your channel.
But God damn it, Trent.
We're done anyway, so fuck it. End the recording, Chris. End the recording.
Bye.
End the recording. I was like, you're good to go. We're good to record.